I would rather talk with Ryan McGee than I would with you, but hi.
All right, I'm going to the bar.
No, you're right here. You gotta stay here to talk with Ryan from ESPN.
I want to go to the bar. I want to do that.
Yeah, Ryan McGee from ESPN, the magazine. How was your odyssey getting out of Daytona? Obviously, you said you were sitting on the tarmac, so that didn't go smoothly either, eh?
No, it has continued. It has been, and listen, and I'm not, I feel bad whining because I only had to go down for the second half of Speed Weeks. People like Marty Smith had to be there for 2 weeks, so it's hard for me to complain. But yeah, it's they don't want me to get home, and then and I don't have to go to Phoenix either. Most everybody is getting off the plane today and getting on another one in the morning going to Phoenix, but I got the weekend off.
What time did you actually get out of Daytona?
What, 2 hours ago? So
wow.
Yeah, good times. But no, but listen, in the end, it was worth it because it was. I don't think you can even consider arguing with the fact that it was the wildest, craziest, most unpredictable Speed Weeks ever. Especially starting Thursday with the duels and just going all the way through the weekend and through last night. It was just. I mean, you had no idea what was going to happen, and then we literally ended with a bang.
Have you ever seen anything that rivals the Montoya deal? I saw that, and I just like, you know what? First of all, from watching it on television, it was like, what the heck happened? Because all of a sudden, all you saw was this burnt-up race car, and it's like, what in the world happened?
Yeah, and, you know, and it's funny, too, because people are kind of banging on Fox because they didn't have a good angle of it. Listen, why in the world would you have a camera trained on a jet dryer or trained on a car that's going down a backstretch by itself off of pit road? There's no way you're going to have a camera on that. But, yeah, it was never seen anything like it. And Mike Helton last night was really funny. He came in the media center. First of all, assured everybody that the track worker who's based up in Michigan, based in Michigan Speedway, he's okay. And then he started to explain the process of how they fix the track. And then he just said, folks, I've been doing this for a long time, and he has. He's been doing it for 50 years, and he goes, never seen that before, hope to never see it again. And, I mean, the good news is we're laughing about it because it could have been very, very bad.
Right.
I mean, not just for Montoya, but also for the guy in the truck. But the good news is that those guys got it done. How that physical plant crew got it done, I have no idea. Over the last 5 days, they fixed the safer barrier, they fixed the catch fence, they dealt with about 6 inches of rain. And then they also repaired the track last night. So hopefully those guys are at the bar too.
Well, we're talking with Ryan McGee from ESPN, the magazine. Ryan, the thing that Inferno reminded me of most, and I'm going to date myself here, that's okay because Steve likes to get an opportunity to jab me. Back in the late 60s and the 70s, Formula One races had way too many of wrecks that looked like that, and
all the time. Yeah.
And they usually ended badly. So that was the chill that I got when I saw that at first. And you're right, the fact that everybody's coming out of this okay is that's the real story there.
Well, it's literally jet fuel. I mean, it's literally a couple hundred gallons of jet fuel. And you know, I have a friend who's an engineer in the Air Force and works on all these top secret jet projects and all stuff. And he texted me last night and he goes, "That is jet fuel. It melts steel."
Yeah.
And all I could think was, everybody get out of there. All those guys had those fire extinguishers. I was like, get out of there. You're not going to be able to put this thing out. And anyhow, again, hats off to them because it was – and I tell you, I held my breath. When they cut those guys loose and they went barreling down into turn 3 and nobody was lifting, I was like, this is going to be bad. But I give credit to those guys. Whatever they were doing with the detergent and the water and all that stuff, it was the right thing to do.
It was awfully ironic that to have to fix the fire, they had to put more water on the racetrack when there was so much trouble with water to begin with.
Yeah, it was crazy. I tell you, I talked to Steve Burns. You guys talked to Steve before, and Burns was assigned to going down for Fox. He was assigned to go down into turn 3, and he said when he first got there, it smelled like a plane crash because he said it just smelled like jet fuel. And he said, and whatever it was they were doing, because his concern was the same as mine, which was that jet fuel was going to get down in that asphalt, because you guys know asphalt absorbs stuff.
Right.
And I was afraid, all the sparks we've been seeing, all I could see was turn 3 going up in flames in the middle of the race. But Burns said whatever they were doing, that smell went away. and that told him that they had done something to just literally wash that jet fuel down out of that asphalt. So it's and good news, we had that new paving job that they just did last year. I think if we'd had the old asphalt, we'd had a whole new set of problems.
Well, and the thing that Charlie and I have talked about, that aside, the racing really was pretty doggone good throughout the whole deal.
Yeah, I agree. And at the end, the best car won a race. I mean, I think there were three cars that were clearly better than everybody else, and it was Kenseth, and it was Greg Biffle, and it was Denny Hamlin. And I felt like, Biffle and Kenseth said, you know what, we're going to go to the front, and if anybody else can get around us, fine. But we don't think they can, and they were right. And so, yeah, I thought it was great. And I'm not one of these people that believes that Biffle – I think if Biffle had a chance to do the last lap over again, he would do it differently. But I don't think he was blocking anybody. I think he wanted to win the Daytona 500. He just didn't think he had an opportunity to make a run. But the Dale Jr. fans are never going to agree with me on that one.
Nope.
Never will happen. Never will happen. But the first two races, the truck race on Friday and the nationwide race on Saturday, ended up being kind of like cup races that we had gotten used to with the packs, with the green-white checkers, these guys wrecking at the end. And, as you kind of strapped yourself in for those last few laps of the race last night, this morning, whatever you want to call it, you thought for the life of you, that's probably what we were going to see again, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I thought we were headed to 210 laps. I thought there was no question. I thought we were going to do 3 green-white checkers, just like you say, like we had in the 2 previous races. But, 2 things happened. Number one, outside lane went away, and I think a lot of that had to do with talking to Denny Hamlin and these guys. They said there was no question that after the fire, the outside lane, particularly through 3 and 4, just wasn't there anymore. They said it was almost like running over gravel. You could hear it underneath the car, up high, not down low. But the second thing is, everybody said we'd have a 2-car breakaway, and basically we had Biffle and Kenseth saying, catch us if you can, and they couldn't catch them.
Do you think in your mind that come 2013, the Daytona 500 will be a night race?
No, I don't think so. I think we may see more night races, and I think that this may make NASCAR do something that I've talked with you guys about before, which is running some – in the summertime, why not run a race on a Wednesday night?
Right.
Or run a race on a Monday night. Why not? There's nothing else going on, and the schedule is what it is. But to me, I think the Daytona 500 is probably going to stay where it is. Listen, everybody flipped out when they started trying to run that race at 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, which they did for several years. And so I think the Daytona 500 will stay where it is, but I think we'll definitely see some other races move to night and maybe even move to a weeknight.
All right. Ryan McGee from ESPN, the magazine. Thanks so much for spending time with us, buddy. Go home and relax, will you?
Yeah, I got to go home and reintroduce myself to my family, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, well, hopefully they haven't replaced you.
Yeah, we'll see. I know they painted the house, apparently, which I didn't know that was coming, so we'll see what happens. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. All right.